Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be in here, and to be fair, it's a bit, for me, coming to a different world. What I'm engaged in for the many years is European integration, and the organization that I co-founded is Alliance for Europe, and I'm an expert on disinformation. But for the past 2 weeks, I'm fully involved in actions to help evacuate of the children, mostly orphanage, children from the orphanage and unaccompanied minors from Ukraine. And we just co-founded a foundation called Alliance for Children Ukraine. So it's like a good debrief and brief of something that what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks, 16 hours a day, thinking of what we can do, sitting in here and thinking about policy and integration. And what we are calling as well as Alliance for Children for Ukraine is for systematic and strategic approach for the evacuation of children from Ukraine. And I will tell you as well why is that. Because working with disinformation, we've seen for years what Russia has been doing in willing to destabilize the European Union. We've seen disinformation at least since 2014, and 2014 was the first invasion of Russia to Ukraine. The goal of Russia in terms of disinformation, and like whenever I'm talking about information and disinformation, we need to realize, I'm saying that we need to realize that information and disinformation is making our minds to change. And the way how we adjust to the information that is coming to us, it's how our behaviors are changing. And therefore, if there are authorities and actors that are using this information to manipulate the society, we are in a big problem. And we can see that probably this invasion that has happened 2 weeks ago could have been stopped if you would think a few years ago not only about the reactive work, but also about active work on spreading proper positive information. I give you the example of what we've done and what we have been doing, and I've seen some faces in here that were helping us on this as well, with the European Front. And that is another organization in Poland. In 2017, we ran the research on polls in the European Union. And we're very happy because basically 80–90% of polls are saying yes to the European Union, right? But when we started to make a deeper research and make the segmentation of the society, we've seen that there is 20% that are very established on one side and 20% that are very established on the other side. And then 60% is a group that can be changed on one way or another. And when we went deeper, looking at what is happening in the internet, because internet definitely is, and media in general, are the places from where most of the citizens and most of the people are taking this information out from, we checked what is happening there. And with the social listening, so checking what is in the social media mostly and in the comments under the articles of different media in the internet, there was the information that 80% of the information about the European Union is either negative or fake. And that's what is changing the attitudes of people. That's what is changing the behaviors. That's how the populists that were gaining power and building crisis of the European Union for years now, that's what they've been using. And this information is not something new. Is a process basically that is based on a very ancient theories of manipulation of the societies. It's been used by Nazi, it's been used by communists, it's been used even in the Roman Empire. Right now, we just have different sources, and sources of where this information is being spread. And this information is being spread very fastly through the social media. Therefore, as Alliance for Europe, we very much call for building the positive communication and strategic communication, and seeing of how the pieces can come into one big picture in order to make sure that we are not reactive and that's, for example, what we've seen over the pandemic. We've been very reactive, right? I mean, like, while us and different people that were working on disinformation, they already seen before that disinformation is out there and the fake news are something that people started to believe in. But really, the public attention and also the governments got into this only when, you know, there was started to be a big disinformation around pandemic, COVID pandemic, felt by all the emotions that been there. So what I believe we should do as the European communities and the Eumans as well is to call for strategic communication and show why European Union is the most important part in this part of the world, in the Western world, and why it really is a biggest benefit towards our security and future of the world. And coming back to what I'm doing the past 2 weeks, that's what we're calling. We're calling the European communities right now, talking with the European Commission and various governments to make sure that the systematic and strategic approach to evacuate the kids from Ukraine is happening on the European level. We need to show that we are stand in solidarity. And those are kids that are dying in Russia. Those are kids that are put in shelters and don't have access to water or food for days. On Monday, I was in Lviv. I got a call that there's 110 kids standing in the Lviv train station, and me with my team, we needed to do everything to make sure that they will be safe and that they will come to the safe place here in Poland. And together with different foundations, we managed to do that. But I had kids coming to me with big traumas, hugging and needing on our help. And that's a call to us. It's a call to the European community. We need to stand together and face this crisis, because if we don't do it now, we will never do that.